Hello from Peter Brackley. It's a thrilling finale then to the championship race. And tonight, as Blackburn strive out in search of the winning post, Ewood Park is a cauldron of expectation and sheer nail-biting tension. The fact remains that for all Rovers faltering in recent matches and Manchester United's own resurgence, Blackburn's destiny remains in their own hands. If they win their last two games against Newcastle and finally at Liverpool on Sunday, nothing United can achieve will prevent them from being champions for the first time since 1914. Can they do it? Well, it's certainly going to be tough tonight against the Newcastle side, who are chasing Europe then next season. Let's check on the top two in the Premier League at the moment. That's how tight it is. 2 points between the two teams. Manchester United play Southampton on Wednesday and wind up their programme away to West Ham, where of course Blackburn themselves were beaten a week ago. Newcastle, well, they're going to provide tough opposition, and for them, well, they've still got plenty to play for then. And Blackburn insist, though, they're not cracking under the strain of it all. And this tonight is a golden chance to reassert themselves as championship favourites. No one can doubt their resolve, their passion, their commitment. Now they must reveal their character and their nerve in responding to the challenge that United have posed them by closing the gap. Let's take a look at the teams. Only the two Manchester clubs have beaten Blackburn here in the league this season. And this is the Rovers lineup that Kenny Dalglish hopes can steer them back on course for the title. Alan Shearer, a central figure of course, 35 goals this season. The PFA Player of the Year links up in attack with Chris Sutton. Ian Pearce is back in defence, with Graham Lasso switching to a more advanced role wide on the left. And in midfield, David Batty, such a competitive player. He continues after his recent return from long-term injury. Newcastle's form has dipped a little lately, but still it's a side oozing with flair and attacking potential. In the absence through injury of Paul Kitson and Paul Bracewell, there are places in this lineup for Lee Clark and Steve Watson, who played so well against Tottenham the other evening. Peter Beardsley will be the man giving Dalglish most cause for concern, a player capable of transforming any match, of course, as the Blackburn manager knows only too well, having teamed up with him in their days together at Anfield. The 100th league meeting between the two clubs. The first was staged over a century ago, and it's been a long, long time since there's been one as significant as this one is for Blackburn Rovers. Those two defeats in their last three games by Manchester City and by Crystal Palace have reopened the title race, and no question they must win tonight to confirm their supremacy in what's turned into such an enthralling finish to the season. Well, sadly, there's been the distressing news over the weekend of the death of former Blackburn Rovers player Noel Brotherston. So before the kick-off, there's a minute's silence as the crowd, and indeed the players, pay their respects. A minute's silence observed in the memory of Noel Brotherston, such an outstanding servant to Blackburn Rovers. Well, there's plenty of incentive then, as I've been saying there, for Newcastle. The prospect of finishing fourth, or at worst fifth, is their target for the two remaining games. There's the man in charge tonight, Philip Dom of Middlesex, one of our senior referees. Newcastle haven't won away since November in the Premier League, although of course they had a splendid success in the FA Cup here in a third round replay. It's a mild evening in Lancashire, but a sizzling atmosphere to greet the teams, with a capacity crowd of over 25,000 on the edge of their seats in anticipation of a memorable night. Blackburn attacking the goal to our left, and it's Darren Peacock with a clearance for Newcastle. Away by Peacock again. one of the scorers, is first for the club in the 3-3 draw with Tottenham last week. Here's Beardsley now, Newcastle's tormentor-in-chief, but he got his angles wrong then, safely through two tip flowers in the Blackburn goal. Beardsley, who's had another outstanding season, of course, for Newcastle. And you never know quite what he's going to pop up with next. Here's Henningberg, back in his more familiar role at right back now, having played in the centre at West Ham. On by Sherwood. This is Lasso. Support from Jeff Kenner. Recent signing, of course, from Southampton. And he's settled in very quickly into the Blackburn team as well. I don't think he expected to get his chance so soon. But obviously Kenny Dalglish rates him very highly. This is Mark Hottiger, the Swiss international, taking the throw then for Newcastle, whose season has rather faded away in recent weeks. They got off to such a cracking start, of course, at the beginning of the campaign. 5 away wins on the bounce, so they've won only once though since. And it really has been their form on their travels that has cost them a tilt at the Championship. Off the head of Peacock, they haven't cleared it though, doesn't fall for Shearer. Some desperate defending though there by Newcastle. Here's Henningberg. He's given it straight though to Fox. Quick and very inventive Rule Fox. Here's Clark on the burst now. Good block though by Hendry, who's been such a tower of strength for Blackburn this season. Ripley with the through ball. And up goes the offside flag against Chris Sutton, who's got nearly 5 months, I think it is now, since a home goal in the Premier League. Lee Clark hasn't been a regular of late, Clark, but back in the team tonight with injury problems that Kevin Keegan has had to contend with. What a season this man has had, Colin Hendry. Naturally enough, Shearer and Sutton have had most of the headlines, but the contribution of Colin Hendry has been absolutely outstanding. David Batty, they've missed his abrasive edge in midfield. Back in the team for the last, 3 games now. Given away by Lee. Ripley can't link up though with Shearer, thanks to the endeavours of Steve Howie, playing alongside Darren Peacock in the heart of Newcastle's defence. Robert Lee, who's likely to feature up front tonight alongside Beardsley. They've got Kitson out. In by Clark to Fox. Good closing down though by Tim Sherwood. Another of Blackburn's real successes this season. Here's Shearer now. Received yet another accolade before the game, Alan Shearer. He was named Blackburn's player of the season. 35 goals tell their own story. Berg taking the throw, finding Sherwood. On then by Batty. Here's Jeff Kenner. Lasso. Hustled by Hottiger. And it'll be a free kick to Blackburn. They've taken only 4 points from the last available 12. Sherwood. It's gone through to Shearer. Superb little decoy then. Little dummy by Chris Sutton, but almost released Shearer. And well, Cernacek got a whack in the face then. Such a good understanding between the front two of Blackburn. Sutton's let it run through and Shearer was almost in and connected then with the Czech goalkeeper Pavel Cernacek. He was brave then, the keeper. The foot was high from Alan Shearer. Cernacek, who was sent off last week against Tottenham. The man who came on to replace him, Mike Hooper, saved the penalty from Jurgen Klinsmann. Really quick thinking there by Chris Sutton. And it's so nearly created the chance for Shearer. Five minutes gone in the first half, and it's been mainly Blackburn Rovers so far. I'm sure they'll be really hyped up for this game with so much at stake. No foul by Howie, who has the task of policing Alan Shearer. Kevin Keegan hopes that he's up to it. Ripley. Now David Batty. On for Shearer. Good combination here by Blackburn until the final pass goes astray. Just seem to have lost their edge a little in recent matches. Maybe it's the nerve showing. Somebody asked Alex Ferguson, incidentally, if he'd be attending the match tonight, and he said, I don't think so. I'm about as welcome as the Black Plague at Ewood Park. And he says he may not even watch it on television. I think I'd rather have a game of golf, he said. Just relax and get away from it all. Wasn't the best of clearances then by Cernicek. He's got away with it. Peacock able to steer it back to him. Blackburn showing so much commitment in his early phase, but then you'd expect that. So close to this elusive championship. And I fancy this man, Cernicek, is going to be the busier goalkeeper this evening. Having said that, this man, of course, Tim Flowers, is one of the best in the business. Another factor behind the success of Blackburn Rovers in this campaign. Flicked on by Ripley to Shearer. And blocking his path was Steve Howie. "32 goals in the Premier League from Alan Shearer this season, 35 in all. So Steve Howie will certainly have his hands full. Berg again with a throw. Now Ripley. Fox to bring it away though for Newcastle. Good climb by Henry. In goes Kenner. Lasso. It's an excellent pass as well, linking up with Alan Shearer. Now Batty driving through from the midfield. It's Ripley. Newcastle mainly on the defensive. Away by Fox, then Lee with a header down. This is Clark. He's taken up a good position here too, Lee Clark. He's a bubbly, effervescent type of player. On by Beardsley. No foul. Philip Don turned away. Away by Peacock, but only as far as Graham Lasso. Blackburn, the top scorers in the Premier League this season. 78 in all. Lee Clark, who's on the transfer list at Newcastle at the moment, but he's Newcastle through and through, and says he doesn't want to leave the club, but of course he's been out of favour, and that has prompted his decision to, initially anyway, seek a move. On by Watson. Here's Gillespie. Now Beresford. On by Clark to Beardsley. That ruled Fox. Beardsley again. Jinking his way through, got his shot in as well. His footwork is always so impressive, Peter Beardsley. Couldn't strike the target though. He's danced around. Well, there was no real challenge on him. But then his shot was some way wide. Always a threat, though, around the penalty box, Peter Beardsley. That'll be a Newcastle throw. Steve Harry, of course, was capped by England earlier in the season. Shearer. Now that's for Batty. Had almost a year, or over a year indeed, out of the game. David Batty with a broken foot. This is Gillespie. Sherwood. It's good covering though by Peacock, as Graham Lasso went marauding down that left side. Lasso pushed forward then in this Blackburn team tonight, with number 3 there, Jeff Kenner, occupying his normal left back role. Jason Wilcox still out through injury. They've missed him down the left side. Does give them good balance. Richard Vizca, the Dutch international, played at West Ham, but he's not in the squad at all tonight. Hottiger. Forward then by Peacock. No chance though of Lee reaching that one. Or Gillespie rather. Watson. Now Hottiger. This is Lee Clark. Newcastle just beginning to settle into the game now. But it's Sutton for Blackburn. Ripley. Well, he hasn't scored for Blackburn this season, Stuart Ripley. He's clearly lost his confidence in front of goal. That was an extremely tame effort. Never been that regular a goal scorer down the years, Ripley. Nonetheless, he's had a good season. Beresford. Now Beardsley. Almost releasing Lee Clark then. Batty taking up the reins for Blackburn. And again, some sound defensive work from Peacock. His task is to thwart Chris Sutton this evening. Now, is this going to be a long one from Jeff Kenner, the Irish international? The flick on, and Shearer with no power behind it. Sutton with the first header, Shearer the second. A combination that has proved so lethal during this season. But he was off balance then, Shearer. And that was comfortable enough in the end for Pavel Srnicek. Fox to Beresford. Now Clark. This is Peacock. And wide of him, Mark Hottiger. Might have been promising until the intervention of Colin Hendry. Away then by Kenner. Ripley and Sutton. And here's Lasso linking with them. Robert Lee, who had a splendid start to the season, hasn't really quite maintained that form though. Certainly the goals have dried up for him. Hottiger somewhat fortuitously finding Ruel Fox. Now can he extend Blackburn here? Always looking to expose defenders with his pace, Ruel Fox. Now he's brought Gillespie into the play here. Not a back cross in, but there's no one on the end of it. in a black and white shirt, just heading Berg. Maybe lacking a bit of punch through the middle, Newcastle, with Paul Kitson unavailable to them at the moment. Gillespie, of course, who came as part of the package that took Andy Cole to Manchester United. Beardsley with the corner. Away then by Ripley. Only as far though as Beresford. The referee playing good advantage then for Lipdon. Taken up initially by Clark, now Beresford. Clark again. A nutmeg on Ripley. But here come Blackburn again. Sherwood leading the way. Shearer surely obstructed then by Beresford. And indeed it's a free kick to Blackburn. Clear obstruction by the Newcastle defender. Lasso and Sherwood there. It's left for Sherwood. Whipped in dangerously, but not quite dangerously enough. Sherwood again. Batty failing to thread it through. It's away by Fox. Now Gillespie. Support arriving too, if he could have supplied them with a service. It was a good tackle by Pearce. By Kenner rather. Whacked away by Lasso, but not too far. Now Berg. This is Pearce. Dropped for the last game, but reinstated tonight. And he's formed a good partnership at the back in general this season with Colin Hendry. Hendry very much the senior partner. Here's Pearce now. With Berg taking over. The fourth meeting between the two teams this season, and Blackburn have failed to win any of them so far. Beaten by Newcastle in the FA Cup after a replay here. 1-1 at St James's Park in the league. I don't think they're the genuine articles somehow. And I bet they're pretty warm too tonight. Free kick to Blackburn. The stern face of Kenny Dalglish. He says there's no need to panic, and he believes his team can come through. But they've certainly got to win this one tonight to keep the pressure on Manchester United before their game at home to Southampton on Wednesday. And what a showdown then on the last day, with Blackburn having to go to Dalglish's old club Liverpool. Sherwood. Now then for David Batty. Ripley making the run ahead of him, but he's got a lot of work to do here against Paul Beresford, who's pretty nippy himself. And that's a foul by Ripley. Been struggling with an ankle injury earlier in the year, Ripley. Seems to have recovered from that now. Up against a very strong competitor though in Beresford. Almost at the halfway point in the first half. Now Blackburn pressing again. Off goes Chris Sutton. Lasso's in the middle. And that was an excellent block then by Darren Peacock. Just got his foot to the ball first. after Lasso had threatened to ghost into some space in the penalty box. Sutton doing so well. Shearer, you can see lurking around the penalty spot, but it was Lasso that Sutton was looking to pick out on the near post. Superb anticipation though by Darren Peacock. No way pass for Sutton. Pearce to Berg. Delicate flick too, hit Stuart Ripley. Still Blackburn threatening, but it's broken up by Rule Fox. And quite clearly Newcastle are no less committed to this game than Blackburn Rovers, which will be good news for Manchester United fans watching. One or two questions were asked about Dalglish's old club Liverpool in their game at Aston Villa on Saturday, when they quite clearly seemed to lack passion. Didn't go down too well with their current manager Roy Evans, who was very distressed about what he saw. But no complaints from Manchester United fans about the effort so far of Newcastle United. Here's Clark. Now then for Fox. Henningberg sticking so tightly to him. Henningberg, who's part of Norway's drive towards the European Championship finals. Lee Clark here, who clearly has a point to prove to Kevin Keegan, who hasn't selected him all that often lately. Shearer. Sutton's pulled into the middle. Ripley and Batty. A few early nerves then showing for Blackburn on this very, very important night for them. John Beresford. Chested down by Beardsley. Now Shearer. Now Beresford getting his tackle in well. Berg with Fox. No sympathy for Berg from referee Philip Dunn. Newcastle haven't won in 4 matches now. They've drawn 2 and lost 2. And only 6 points from a possible 21 in their last 7 games. But so far in this match, they've shaded it in terms of possession. But now this is Lasso for Blackburn, being waved on by Philip Dunn too, trying to allow him the advantage. But it's Beardsley on the counter-attack for Newcastle. Rule Fox. Superbly tight tackle though by Henningberg. Sherwood. Shearer ahead of him. Still Sherwood. He's got Lasso away to his left. And I wonder there, did he choose the wrong option? Furious with himself. Just slightly off balance as he shot at goal. But he has been such a driving force for Blackburn this season, Tim Sherwood. He's evaded the tackle. Well, he's stronger on his right foot. And he couldn't keep it down. And that was the reaction of Kenny Dalglish, who could see, I'm sure, Lasso in an excellent position away to Sherwood's left. Batty. Gillespie letting it run through to Hottiger. Now Peacock. Hottiger once more. Some flowing football here from Newcastle. Gillespie, and Kenner has just done enough, but it'll be a corner to Newcastle. Gillespie, who's been making an impact certainly since his move to St James's Park from Manchester United. And Kevin Keegan has always said that that was a key reason in him allowing Cole to go, was that he got Gillespie in part exchange. Deals for Hatmore, rejected though by Philip Dunn. Beardsley, ever probing, ever a nuisance. And it's a free kick. You see the pressure and the strain on the faces of the Blackburn players. It's been a long, hard season for them. and they will be so disappointed if it doesn't bear fruit come the end of the campaign. They stake everything on winning the title. Watson outmanoeuvred. Here's Lasso. No, the whistle's gone. And it'll be a free kick to Newcastle. Handball against Lasso. Beardsley with a free kick. Enticingly towards Peacock. I would think the whistle has gone. There's so much noise. Indeed it has. It'll be a free kick to Blackburn. A little bit of extra leverage being sought then by Darren Peacock, who certainly is a threat on these set pieces. Chipped in invitingly by Beardsley. And there was Peacock leaning all over his opponent. Looked to be climbing on his shoulders then. Ian Pearce, I think. Away by Berg. Now Sherwood. Just lost his footing though. Lee Clark seeing plenty of the ball in midfield. So Sherwood though for Blackburn. Pearce on for Hendry. All a bit tentative there from the league leaders. Fox. Support from Beresford. Blackburn, of course, had an 8-point lead over United back at the beginning of April, but it's been whittled down by the champions to set up this grandstand finish. Who will hold their nerve now? Beresford. Faced by Chris Sutton, and it'll be a throw to Newcastle, who haven't won in their last 5 away games now in the Premier, 6 in all competitions. Just a couple of points from a possible 15 in that spell. But clearly Kevin Keegan has demanded of them that they raise their game tonight. Europe isn't certain for them yet. Beresford's header. And off Clark. Cernacek had to come a long way out. Could be in trouble now. Laid back by Shearer. Through by Batty, and it was Peacock who cleared. Now Lasso. Back into the middle, and a goal from Shearer. The master striker has done it again. Goal number 36 for Alan Shearer. And it was his determination then that enabled him to score. Cernacek was always struggling to get back. Batty with that first shot then. And by the time Lasso's cross arrives in the middle, there's Shearer in such positive style to hit the ball in. 29 minutes gone. Alan Shearer. A quality finish. Absolutely no question at all about who was going to reach that ball first. Well, so often he's been their saviour. That'll calm them down now. A vital goal from Alan Shearer. And you can hear now the buzz all around the ground. Such a welcome goal. The first half an hour, Newcastle had begun to threaten. But now it's Blackburn who forged ahead, thanks to their inspirational number 9. Pearce to tidy up at the back. Such a phenomenal record that Alan Shearer has. 92 goals in 122 games for Blackburn. Howie. Henning Berg. It's not a bad ball either. He's found Sutton. Now Lasso, who's often found himself in attacking positions in this first half. His cross that set up the goal. Cernacek has come for it, didn't hold it though. In goes Sherwood. Now Hendry, and that'll be over the top, or just wide anyway. But this is a strong spell now for Blackburn. They've got the bit between their teeth. Alan Shearer's ever at the heart of the action. And here's his goal again. Cernacek had just got back on his line, but he was nowhere near the cross. Shearer most emphatically was. He looks a bit happier now, Kenny Dalglish. Certainly a different reaction to a few minutes ago when Tim Sherwood wasted that chance. Lasso again. Sherwood. This is Kenner. And Tim Sherwood. Newcastle having to backpedal again. Henningberg. Well held up then by Chris Sutton. Shielded it in such expert fashion. And now Lasso has forced a corner. He's giving them plenty of width down this left side, Graham Lasso. Very much the number one choice, of course, for England. He's the only player to have featured in all of Terry Venables' games since he became coach. Ripley with the corner. Oh, saved on the line by Cernacek. Came back off Howie. Well, he can afford to smile. But it was almost a major embarrassment. Pearce had got the flick on. It came back off the legs of Howie and into the very grateful arms of Cernacek. Albeit on the line almost. Steve Howie, very relieved. There's Ian Pearce, who met the corner. I think it's Kenner who's injured at the moment. Well, a few weeks ago, he wouldn't have dreamt he'd be involved in a drive for the championship. It was actually the arm of Hendry that caught Kenner. And you know it when this man has hit you. A little winded, but he'll be okay. Such an inspiration this season, Colin Hendry. He's calmed down a bit too. He used to be a little bit cavalier in his approach, but he's more of an out-and-out defender now, although of course he does score some useful goals too. But it's his defensive reliability that has been such a strength for Blackburn this season. Beardsley, ever imaginative. He's found Gillespie. Good work by him too. And it's Pearce with a header away. Helped out by Lasso. Now Kenner. Peacock to head it back again. Hendry is there. Nobody can keep it down till it comes to Beardsley. Now Rule Fox. Laid off to Beresford. He's got Beardsley with him. Another excellent pass too, appreciated by the crowd too from Beardsley. Such vision. Gillespie's cross. Again, there's no real support in the middle from any of his teammates. Beardsley beginning to spray his passes around. There's Fox to nod it on. Only partially cleared. Oh, Ripley hasn't got it away either. Watson now. Clark. Peacock was waiting in the middle. It's Fox. And Lasso to retrieve the situation for Blackburn. Beardsley sliding in, but the decision has gone against him. Some nimble footwork from Rule Fox. I certainly wouldn't rule Newcastle out of this game. But Blackburn, with 10 minutes of the first half to go, have the upper hand. They've actually conceded more goals at home than they have away, Blackburn. 21 at Ewood Park, 16 on their travels. Sutton. Peacock inevitably has gone with him. Now Sherwood. This is Batty. Lasso. Oh, Cernacek just managed to get his fist to that one. Clark, a trip surely by Sherwood, who was in trouble with the FA after his clash with Don Hutchison last week at West Ham. An elbow in the face which wasn't spotted, I think, by the referee. Shearer was unlucky, but here's Chris Sutton now. Just kept it by Ripley. Batty, and up goes the offside flag against Stuart Ripley. That must have been pretty close. And Beardsley overhitting the pass for once, in search of Rolf Fox. Newcastle with 8 defeats away from home this season, and behind in this game thanks to Alan Shearer's goal. Kenny Dalglish, who will, I'm sure, have done his best to relax and calm his players beforehand, and he'll have been so relieved to see that goal go in. A man who's seen it all and done it all. Lasso. On goes Kenner. Slipping it through to Shearer. Did really well then, Shearer. Just couldn't pull it back far enough. But a sudden change of pace, change of direction. And it very nearly caught Newcastle out. Henry was first to it again. A sunlit evening at Ewood Park. Peacock. Now Beresford. Rolf Fox. Too close to Tim Flowers. Always the favourite to gather that one. Missed only 3 games this season, Tim Flowers. Conceded a late own goal though at St James's Park in that 1-1 draw. Away by Beresford. Clark couldn't make any progress thanks to David Batty. Up goes Sutton. Howie though was with him. And Shearer couldn't quite force his way through. Off goes Clark. Now has he released Fox here? No, it was a well-timed intervention by Ian Pearce. A necessary one too. But Newcastle not short on ideas. Just maybe lacking a bit of sharpness in front of goal, this Fox, and that's typical of it really. Rolf Fox, who's got 11 goals this season, but none in the last 11 matches, which Kevin Keegan, I'm sure, will have noted. Sherwood. Batty with the through pass. but not an accurate one. Howie. We're inside the last 5 minutes of the first period. Beardsley so instinctively switching the play. Oh, Henry's out of position now. Lee. But he recovered quickly. And the Scottish international defender. Admired so much by his fellow professionals, not only at Blackburn, throughout the Premier League. I think most would vote him as the outstanding defender in the top flight this season. He's certainly been that for my money. Now is Sutton looking to stretch. Peacock and Hodiger. Bags of strength, Chris Sutton. Now Shearer is onside. There was no flag. Still Shearer. Can he finish it here? It was Howie with the block. And what a crucial one it was then for Newcastle. The menacing figure of Alan Shearer. Well, they were sloppy defensively then. Howie appealing for an offside flag, but he was way out of position. Certainly wasn't tight on Shearer. Good save by Cernacek. Got down well to keep out the effort from David Batty, who's not exactly renowned for his goal scoring, but no doubt about his tigerish qualities in the midfield. And he was set up nicely then by Sherwood. Didn't quite get hold of it though. And Cernacek had narrowed the angle well. Flowers away in the nick of time. Little 1-2 with the referee. Robert Lee skipping past the tackle of Sherwood. Henry's lost it. Gillespie now. Henningberg. They just don't seem to have any presence in the middle when these crosses arrive, Newcastle. That's 3 or 4 I've counted now, and the ball's been played into the danger area. But there's been no one in a Newcastle shirt on the end of it, or anywhere near it, to be honest. 2 minutes of the first half to go. Alan Shearer, who scored once, could have had another. The Premier League's premier striker. Howie. Now Watson. This is Hodiger. Gillespie. Good change of pace then. Clark. Clark again. His effort though charged down by Pearce. Sherwood. Become a real favourite with the Ewood Park faithful has Tim Sherwood. But it's Fox now threatening for Newcastle. On the break, Beardsley, good effort. Oh, tremendous save by Tim Flowers. Struck with such venom then by Beardsley. Didn't give it a moment's thought. Just whacked it through, and well, Sherwood somehow catapulted across his goal to claw it away. Inside the last minute, and there's Flowers again. And we saw his qualities underlined then. Such a good shot stopper, and so comfortable too on crosses. Just got his hand to that one. And then claiming the cross in determined style. Watson. That will have given a fresh heart though to Newcastle. Certainly hasn't been an easy ride for the league leaders. Almost into stoppage time. Hodiger with the throw. Beardsley twisting and turning so delightfully. Really is a joy to watch Beardsley. Gillespie's cross dealt with by Henry. In goes Sherwood then. There's a lot of aggression about this Blackburn team. There's no two ways about that. Shearer. Don't think Ripley's going to reach that one though, not before Beresford. And there is the half-time whistle blown by Philip Don. The goal from Alan Shearer just before the half-hour mark divides the two teams, but Newcastle certainly very much in contention. It was Graham Lasso who's had an excellent first half, who set up the goal with his cross. Flowers with that wonder save from Beardsley just before the interval. That's the way of it then at half-time. Blackburn leading Newcastle by 1-0 at Ewood Park.
almost 8:38 here at Rovers Park. You have to be able to go back to your places if you're listening to us on the phone courses. As players now congregate in the centre circles. We're joining the nation in 2 minutes silence this evening to commemorate this VE Day anniversary 50 years ago today, the anniversary of victory in Europe. We now ask you to join us in observing 2 minutes silence.
So welcome back to Ewood Park, where the crowd and the players, in line with the rest of the country of course, have observed a 2-minute silence in recognition of the VE Day celebrations, the 50th anniversary of the conclusion to the Second World War. A nation remembers and pays its respects. And we return then now to the excitement of this Premier League match, so important to the outcome of the Championship. Blackburn leading by 1-0. Who else? Alan Shearer on 29 minutes. But it's been pretty tight. Newcastle had chances towards half-time, certainly for Peter Beardsley, with a stinging shot that Tim Flowers did so well to keep out. And that will have lifted Newcastle's morale in readiness for this second period. Newcastle themselves, remember, still pursuing a place in Europe next season. They need the points to make sure of qualification. In by Beardsley, whose menace was growing towards half-time. Beginning to get a real grip on the game, Beardsley. On by Beresford. Now here's Rolf Fox. They had no one there really to attack the ball in the penalty box. And it's been fairly comfortable for the Blackburn defenders. Now David Batty. Sutton. Company up though with Alan Shearer. Bowled out by Cernacek to Fox again. Blackburn unbeaten in their last 5 league meetings with Newcastle. Indeed, Keegan has yet to beat Dalglish in the league. Foul on Beresford by Alan Shearer. Right by Watson. Here's Hottiger. Now Gillespie. Got in 1 or 2 useful crosses towards the end of that first period. Clark. Now what can Fox set up here? Looking to take on Henning Berg. Beardsley to Beresford. Fox again. And away by Jeff Kenner for the corner. So Newcastle have opened the second half strongly. Had slightly more possession in the first half than Blackburn, but no real penetration. No end product. And they won't get through here. Show. Rather panicked with his pass then, though. Straight to Beresford. Lee Clark to Fox. Far too easy though for Henry in the air. Sutton. Cut out by Gillespie, but here's Berg. Now Ripley. I certainly wouldn't think Blackburn could afford to sit on their lead. They will seek the cushion of another goal. But Kenny Dalglish will certainly have been emphasising at half-time. 1 goal may not be enough. Ripley. Sutton trying to squeeze it back again. Hoping his barren spell at Ewood Park is going to come to an end tonight. There's Lasso. It was a fair old strike too. Very impressive in the first half, Graham Lasso. Really has made such progress since his move from Chelsea. Establishing himself first in the Blackburn team and then in the England setup too. Batty. It's Beresford though for Newcastle. Ripley. Sutton in pursuit. He'll do well to keep this in though. For Sutton, who's such a worker in Kenny Dalglish's side, battles away up front. And his partnership so profitable alongside Alan Shearer. So a free header on for Shearer. Couldn't turn Peacock though. And Batty out wide for Lasso again. Still Lasso. Shearer. It was Hottiger, the covering defender. Lasso felt he was balked then by the Swiss international. The referee Philip Don didn't see it that way. Here's Clark. Not much support around him, and he can't find Rolf Fox either. Henning Berg with a clearance upfield for Sutton to chase. He was tugging then. Surely the shirt of Steve Howie. There's the pull, which was clear enough, I would have thought. Well, Philip Don didn't penalise Chris Sutton, did he? Yes, he did in the end. Pierce with a header. On then from Ripley. Here's Sherwood. Again, he's been influential in the midfield tonight, Tim Sherwood. Another player who's made such terrific progress in this Blackburn team that Kenny Dalglish has moulded together so well. Hendry with Lee. Now Shearer. Shearer was up with him, and it was Peacock who brought Shearer down as he was threatening to race away. I think that's going to be a caution for Darren Peacock. Look at the power there of Shearer, and Peacock came clattering into him. And a caution for Peacock. And you can't really have too many complaints about that. Taken by Sherwood. Was Sutton some way off the target though with his header. Certainly haven't been as fluent tonight as we've seen them in the past, Blackburn. Maybe that's to be put down to nerves in the last furlong of the season, as it were. But they haven't hit the tape yet. There's still a lot of work to be done. Kept in by Hotiger. Kenner's header. Srnicek, who's been playing for his country during this season, Czechoslovakia, and has certainly had a good season for Newcastle. Preferred in goal to Mike Hooper these days. Here's Howie. Now then for Peacock. Lee Clark. Shearer went in very strongly then. His elbow may well have caught John Beresford. Hotiger, a player who loves to come forward. Watson can't hold it up, but he was fouled anyway by the ever-aggressive David Batty. Batty, of course, a title winner with Leeds back in '92. And this long spell out of the game for Batty, but he's come back with a vengeance. Hotiger allowed a strike at goal, albeit a poor one. Don't think Tim Flowers was too happy though, but nobody closed him down. One or two Blackburn players took their eye off the ball then. Hotiger was allowed to fire it through, albeit well wide of goal. Hotiger with just a couple of goals for Newcastle this season. He's been featuring in the Swiss team, challenging in the European Championships. Beresford. Now Fox. Beardsley. And for once he can't control it. Shearer. Ever threatening. Peacock. To Watson. On then by Beardsley. Good pass was from Henningberg. And it had Howie at full stretch to well then Steve Howie. So aware of the presence of Shearer just behind him. Tripped through by Berg. And well, that was certainly necessary then from Howie. Or Shearer would have been in the clear. Beardsley. Still no real cutting edge to Newcastle's approach play, for all the enterprise and the imagination and creative instincts of Peter Beardsley. Beresford taking the throw. Now Fox. Fox again, confronted by Batty, but it's Beresford to knock it through. Now Robert Lee. He has support from Clark. Watson to pump it back again. This time Lasso was there. In goes Sherwood. Now Sutton. What a finely executed tackle that was then from Sherwood. Shearer, play on, says the referee. He's absolutely right too. Alan Shearer. Another hefty block though by Howie. Fox. Lee Clark, always so busy for Newcastle, but they've made no progress at all. Morgan Ripley though for Blackburn. Shearer ever menacing through the middle, and Steve Howie doing well to charge his shot down. Henningberg with Batty. Lasso. Couldn't get away from Beardsley, and it's harmlessly back to Pavel Cernacek, releasing Hottiger. Beresford. Pierce to bring it away then for Blackburn. Being invited to go on too. He's got Sherwood outside him. This is Sherwood now. It took a deflection and it took the sting off it really. Howie again playing a leading part. Now Pierce has to get back. Clark. Brought on to Gillespie. This is Howie. Beresford. Beardsley taking over. And Hendry eventually to steer it back after such determination shown by Alan Shearer. He's prepared to work hard at both ends of the field. Lasso. Oh, it's a risky back pass then. They're not exactly hanging on, you wouldn't say, Blackburn, but Newcastle still very much in the hunt. And Flowers had to be at his most alert, and I think was injured then in the challenge. Still Blackburn jittery at times. Howie. Darren Peacock. An hour gone. Still just a one goal. Scored by Alan Shearer. I think it's going to be an anxious last half an hour for Blackburn, unless they can find another goal. Henry so composed at the back. So rarely has he had a bad game this season, Colin Hendry. And of course he's now part and parcel of the Scottish team as well. Beresford. The interception was from Berg, then Batty. Now Ripley. He's got very little change out of Beresford. Robert Lee. Watson. Neat work from him too. And then Clark asking too much of Rule Fox. It's really in the last third of the field that they've been a bit limited tonight, Newcastle. Watson giving his all in midfield. And I gather he had an exceptional game too against Tottenham last week. Another man who's normally on the fringe of the team. Of course, they've been beset by injury problems, have Newcastle, in the last few months. Beardsley. On by Hottiger. Now Gillespie, a chance to show his acceleration. until he is illegally held back. David Batty, the chief culprit then. Beresford. Rule Fox. Looking to take on defenders. He'd gone well. And Tim Flowers was motionless then in his 6-yard box. I thought for a moment he'd taken it too far, Rule Fox. Extremely well to get his shot in. Going right across the face of the goal. Still he keeps going. And that was not far over the bar. Fox, who, as I was saying earlier on, has gone a while now without a goal. But he was certainly very positive on that occasion. Blackburn's lead still looks precarious. Off goes Shearer. No Hottiger is there. Once again, Newcastle having plenty of possession, but they can't turn it into any kind of end product. Sherwood, laid back to Colin Hendry. Now Lasso. Showed too much of it though to Clark. Off goes Gillespie. And the same story with him against Jeff Kenner. But there is an anxiety about Blackburn's play. And Newcastle will be hoping to capitalise on it. Steve Watson. Well, Clark could be in here. There, the whistle had gone. Flag was up, presumably for offside against Lee Clark. He's an industrious little player. And he popped up then, and we'll see just offside, but it was close. I think he'd lost control anyway. But Newcastle's confidence and their conviction is ever growing. Beresford. Their final game of the season is at home to Crystal Palace, so they can influence the bottom of the table as well as the top. Palace, one of those teams trying to avoid relegation, along with Norwich, Ipswich and Leicester, whose places in the First Division next season have already been confirmed. Yeah, they look a bit worried, don't they, those Blackburn supporters? This game is certainly not won yet. Henningberg with the free kick. Up towards Shearer. Howie there with him. And that'll be a free kick to Blackburn for the offence by Steve Howie. He's kept Shearer relatively subdued, but was nowhere around on the goal. Oh, hit through then by Shearer, who was first to react. His reactions are so sharp in and around the penalty box. And that was a let-off then for Newcastle. Again, the awareness of Alan Shearer so much to the fore, but here's Clark now. And he's just taken it too far. But Newcastle then at least getting players into an attacking position. One where they can cause some damage. 65 minutes gone. Still, it's Blackburn 1, Newcastle 0. And it's all very tight. Kenner taking the throw. Held up by Sutton. And Shearer and Sutton and Ripley. Ripley shot! And just for a moment then I thought it might have taken a nick off a defender and wrong-footed the goalkeeper. But there was no deflection and it just went wide. It was Peacock who so nearly made contact, and that could have been an own goal if he had it done. Sherwood. No, it was a nervous pass. Picked up by Beresford. Fox taking over. Blackburn with defenders scurrying back, Sherwood among them. Well, they're fighting for every ball, Blackburn, as you'd expect them to. Oh, and how dearly they'd love another goal now, just to settle them down again. Away by Berg. Really can't afford to drop any points this evening. Robert Lee. Now Peacock. Blackburn with everybody defending behind the ball. Lee Clark. At times you'd have thought Newcastle were the home side this evening. But there's always the danger of the break, especially when this man's around. Alan Shearer. Sutton's pulled away to his left. Sutton using his strength to power his way through, and it was a foul by Lee. Yellow card for him. No question about that one. Now here's an opportunity then for Blackburn. The kick taken quickly, and no problem for Cernacek. Alan Shearer, who has been more successful from that range on previous occasions, but he hasn't caught out Cernacek. Henry. Now Shearer's in the clear again. He's got away from Peacock, and he's mishit his shot completely. Well, he can't believe it. Normally so sure-footed from that distance. Look at his pace here over, what, 10 yards or so. He's got away from Peacock. Cernacek, in fairness to him, had narrowed the angle, but you still would have put money on Alan Shearer here. Time to look up, time to place it. And it's, well, a total miscue from one of the sharpest players in English, well, world football, you'd have to say. An escape for Newcastle, and they remain in the contention for this game. Fox cutting inside. Well, splendid stuff again by Flowers. He's made two absolutely crucial saves in this match, from Beardsley towards half-time, and now from Fox. And if Blackburn needed reminding that the game isn't won yet, well, that was surely it. Lee. Now Clark. Beardsley. Newcastle's throw. Blackburn indebted to Flowers again. Beardsley. Still Newcastle persevering. Heroics again from Flowers. Battling, of course, with David Seaman for the #1 jersey for the English team. Beresford. Teasing Ripley. And he's helped out by Sherwood. The captain leading by example. Shearer, though, turned back into trouble. That wide then from Hottiger to Gillespie and Lee. Hottiger again. Jeff Kenner. This is Sherwood. Knocked on for Ripley. And he's just about managed to evade Beardsley, has he? No. Beardsley recovered quickly. Lee. It's an open game now. Hottiger looking to press for Newcastle again. They've got no real height in there, though, to make something of these crosses. Beresford taking a lower route. Rule Fox. Beardsley on for Lee, who can certainly strike a ball. And Flowers once more to the rescue. It seemed to be swerving, that shot then. Difficult for the keeper to deal with. But he kept a very watchful eye on it. Just started to swing away from Flowers. But he managed to beat it clear. Howie stretching. Away by Ripley. But the pressure stays on Blackburn. A good spell this for Newcastle. But still they trail. And they've got less than 20 minutes now to save it. Really is gripping fair. David Batty. Kenner's clearance was hasty. And with a touch of desperation too. Clark. Beresford. Peacock now marauding up front. Well, they've certainly got more bodies forward in the second half, Newcastle. Still can't find a way through. And they'll have to do better than that. John Beresford, the offender. Tremendous vocal support, well, for both teams, but certainly for Blackburn in particular as the home side this evening. The home fans willing their team on. Oh, well, you can imagine the relief around the ground when Flowers just about managed to keep that one out, and then saved again from Robert Lee. Tigerish defending by Howie, and tucked away by Peacock, but he hasn't gone too far. Kenner now. His progress curtailed though, and Hottiger can play it out to Beardsley. Ripley for Blackburn. Well, Shearer's in. It was a mistake, and Srnicek spread himself superbly. Shearer denied. On by Beardsley. Here come Newcastle again. They've had the lion's share of the play. Can they find a goal? Hottiger. This is Beardsley. Robert Lee. Movement ahead of him from Fox. Deceiving Batty. Beresford. Now Clark. Didn't seem to be a space for him to drift into. And you can see the urgency now on the faces of these Blackburn defenders as they hold on to this lead, which is looking so slender. Lee. Having said that, it was a great save at the other end from Srnicek to deny Shearer. Here he is again now. Peacock with him, wanting handball. Nothing given. Shearer's shot, and it squirms away for the corner. Peacock, whose mistake had let in Shearer a couple of minutes ago. But the expertise of Srnicek kept the score at 1-0. 15 minutes to go. Only Blackburn's second corner of the game. Taken by Lasso. Ripley. Lasso again. It's still all a bit predictable from Blackburn. No question the nerves are showing tonight. Alex Ferguson, the Manchester United manager, was saying once you get into a rut like this and you're heading for the Championship, it's difficult to get out of it. You've just got to scrape away and hope to come up with the results. Well, they've certainly battled Blackburn, there's no two ways about that. But so too have Newcastle. And with a bit more luck and a bit better finishing, they would have been on level terms. Here's Hottiger. Now Beardsley. Henry's headed clearance. Finds Ripley. Too long though for Shearer. And it's swept back by Howie. Now Peacock. This is Beresford. Clark could make nothing of that though. It's pushed up more in the second half, Clark, with Lee dropping back. Peacock. Hartiger. Still Blackburn mainly on the defensive, just trying to soak up any pressure that Newcastle can inflict. Clark confronted by Hendry. No contest. Beresford. Now Clark on for Fox. Whipping over a dangerous ball, but Hendry was there to head it clear again. Certainly the form of Fox down this left side has been a source of some reward, but they haven't got anyone on the end of his crosses. Here he is again now, still tormenting, still teasing. Back by Watson to Hartiger and Lee. Newcastle captain the Blackburn half. Watson though dispossessed, and then a foul by him on David Batty, who doesn't bat an eyelid. Gets straight up with it, dusts himself down, and on he goes, David Batty. Fox. Watson ahead of him, and Gillespie too. Had some room here, still Gillespie. And the cross in for Beresford. Flowers with the save. Fox. And somehow they've survived, have Blackburn. And he's the main reason. Tim Flowers. What a night he's having. Great vision shown then by Fox. Gillespie's away, and you'll see Beresford arriving at the far post. Nobody's picked him out really. And well, he changed direction in mid-air then, Flowers. How on earth did he save that? That's a fantastic stop by the Blackburn keeper. Gillespie picking out Beresford right across the face of the goal. They must have had, what, 4 defenders in there, Blackburn, but no one countering the threat of Beresford. No one, that is, apart from Tim Flowers. I think he might just be on for man of the match. Beresford denied by the agility, the reactions of Tim Flowers. And if Blackburn do come through this game, they'll look back and point to those critical saves by the goalkeeper. Gillespie now. There's that little change of pace. And Fox. Henningberg in the way. I wonder would Flowers have got to that one. Beresford. Inside the last 10 minutes. And this is a really strong finish from Newcastle. And they will feel they deserve some reward. Blackburn are going to make a substitution. Slater is coming on in place of Stuart Ripley, who has been largely ineffective. Indeed, we've seen far more of him having the track back against Beresford than in an advanced role. So Robbie Slater on to replace him. Less than 10 minutes to make an impact. But it would seem at this stage it's all about defending the lead. Or maybe just sneaking one at the other end to make life a bit more comfortable. On by Shearer. Sutton to collect. Shearer again. Slater. Now David Batty. This is Sherwood. And Lasso. So there's this edginess about Blackburn's play. And such determination shown about Newcastle's from Peacock there, certainly. Free kick to Newcastle, taken by Beardsley. Lee. Now Howie. A shitload of noise around Ewood Park. Blackburn fans endeavouring to keep their team going. Watson. Pearce happy just to clear anywhere. Hottiger. Clark in the middle, and Fox. Don't think they're going to get much joy in the air. Howie eating up the ground there ahead of Shearer. Darren Peacock. 7 minutes left. Still, it's Blackburn 1, Newcastle 0. Alan Shearer's strike on 29 minutes, and I wonder, is it going to be enough? Henry's header. Lasso. Just content to hook it away without any real purpose. Oh, here's Fox. Is this going to be the moment for them? No, Henry's there to chest it away for the corner. Little Rule Fox has been a real menace, particularly in the second half. And he's got away here. A misjudgment that's led him in by Henningberg. And once more, it's been the same story so often. No one on the end of his work. Newcastle's 8th corner of the game, taken by Gillespie. Henry only partially away. It was Robert Lee. And now the flag's up for offside. A great roar of relief from the Blackburn fans. Been an anxious old night for them as well. Their team so close to this championship. But Manchester United pushing them right to the wire. And yes, it is a mild night up here. Kenny Dalglish wondering now if his team can hold out for these last few minutes. Newcastle continuing to attack them. Hottiger with a free kick. Powerfully away by Henry. But Beresford back in possession for Newcastle. And linking with Roll Fox. Beresford again. Forward run was from Watson, but that's been cut out. Oh, superb play by Alan Shearer. He could be through here. Peacock comes across. That was a third challenge. Nothing wrong with that. Fox. Now Lee. From this central role that he's occupying now. Hottiger. Good movement off the ball from Beardsley, but to no avail. Sherwood. Howie to bring it forward again. 4 minutes to go. And they will seem like 40 to Blackburn. Rule Fox. Easily dealt with by Graham Lasso. Tim Flowers, no question, the hero of the night for Blackburn. Peacock away. Henningberg. No, the flag up against Sutton, I would think there. Well, they've waited a long, long time, have the Blackburn fans, for a league title. Or indeed of any kind of success. Maybe at last it's going to come this season. But if so, it won't be without a fair amount of strife in the last week of the campaign. Even if they win tonight, of course, it's certainly not over. They still have Liverpool to play, remember, away from home. Manchester United have Southampton at Old Trafford and West Ham in their final game at Upton Park. Offside. Kick taken by Darren Peacock. It's been wave after wave of Newcastle attack in the second half. Howie. Beresford. Nobody prepared to pursue that one in a Blackburn shirt. They're all back defending now with 2 minutes left on the clock. And then just a question of how much time the referee will add on. I don't think there's going to be too much stoppage time. Here's Steve Watson. Away from Sherwood, not from Batty. Beardsley to Howie. Blackburn looking to put up the barricades again. Beresford with the cross in. Little flick by Lee. It's a clumsy clearance and a tentative one certainly from Henry. Gillespie. He's gone through the tackles. Oh, is he brought down then? Henry with a tackle. The Blackburn fans felt he dived then, Gillespie. Philip Don giving his version of events. He hasn't given a penalty. Well, there's the challenge by Colin Hendry. It's a bit hard to see from some of these slow motion replays whether he makes contact or not. Gillespie certainly gave the impression that he did, and he went sprawling. The last minute now. Beresford. Still Newcastle pouring forward. Roll Fox. Beardsley. Out by Pearce. Then hooked on by Sherwood. But only as far as Howie. Lee. Hotiger out wide. And there is that man again, Tim Flowers, to tip it away. But it's another corner to Newcastle. He has indeed been named man of the match, Tim Flowers. No surprise about that. He's preserved the lead almost single-handedly. Clark with the corner. Out by Sherwood. Driven back through and wide by Hotiger. And maybe that's the last chance for Newcastle. The 90 minutes are up. We're into stoppage time. Drama right to the last. And no prizes for guessing who they support. It hasn't been a quality display by any means from Blackburn. But what will matter most is if they hang on to the 3 points. Hendry. Straight at Clark. The home fans imploring referee Philip Don to blow that final whistle. Up goes Peacock. Shearer. He'll take it as far as he can now into enemy territory. Policed by Howie. We played a minute now of injury time. Newcastle's throw. Alan Shearer aghast at the decision. But the one he wants has finally come, the decision to end the game. And a beaming smile from Kenny Dalglish. Well, he'll be the first to acknowledge that his old chum Kevin Keegan's team deserved something from this game without any question at all. But Alan Shearer's goal has done it for Blackburn. The goal coming just before the half hour. Blackburn maybe with the better of things before then, but after that, well, Newcastle have had so many chances, but they've come up against a goalkeeper in inspired form. A night he'll remember for a long, long time. Tim Flowers, one save after another. So let's take a check then on the top of the table now, going into the last week of the season. Blackburn increasing their lead to 5 points. They've played a game more, and that game will be played by Manchester United on Wednesday night. At home to Southampton. The pressure is back on Alex Ferguson's team. And then maybe it'll all be down to the last day. Blackburn away to Liverpool. Manchester United away to West Ham. The title race is set for a dramatic finale. Blackburn are back in the groove. Next stop then on the Championship Roadshow, Old Trafford on Wednesday night. Manchester United, it's over to you.
Don't talk to me about bottle. Don't talk to me about bottling it, because that's bottle out there. That's quality players giving their all.
The crowd seemed to be very nervous towards the end. Was that spreading through to the players at all?
So I suppose we was all a bit nervous. You're not human unless you're nervous. I think every player and every manager's nervous. I mean, it doesn't matter how much you make out, you're not, you are. But the ball's back in United's court now. They've got a very tough game against Southampton, and we're going to fight to the death because we've got bottle.
You made several magnificent saves. I think we can show you a few of them. One in the first half and several in the second half, but we're going to show you the second half ones.
Yeah, I think we're all just cut inside there, and they're the nightmare because you can't see him come through the legs, you know what I mean? But this one's moved a little bit from Robert, like that, and I was just looking to get a finger to it in the end. I was quite pleased to get a finger to it. That's just one probably that you work on from training a little bit, coming back from your near post, but I'm happy with that, and I think all the lads are, because we went out trying to win today. We gave everything we got.
5 points clear now. You've still got one more game to go. Do you think, though, that perhaps now you've finally done enough?
No, nobody's ever said that at this club. People have put it into our mouths, but no one's ever said it. We've got a very tough game at Liverpool. It's a bit of a derby game. United have got 2 games. It's going to go right the way to the wire. I expect a bit of the last game. But all we can say is that we'll give exactly what we gave today, exactly what we've given all season, and that is a 100% bottle.
Will you be getting in touch with players from your old club, Southampton, who have the chance to actually win the title for you, haven't they, on Wednesday?
Well, they are, but no, I won't be. I mean, I'll speak to them anyway, but I won't be speaking to them before the game.
Listen, terrific performance, Tim. Rightly named the Carling Man of the match. Well played tonight. Well done.
I'm very pleased to get it. First time ever. Thank you.
Well done, Tim.